Okay. Okay, so here I am with our new girl Bowie. And it's really going to be our first session on leash here. So come on. So you can see, actually, let's go ahead and just kind of let her do her own thing and let's see where she's at, right? So, nose is on the ground. She'll pull. Let's see if I can just walk around and see if she'll just follow me with light tension. So look at this. No. I mean, look at how far I am here. She's really hunkering down, not wanting to follow, right? Come on. Good girl. Good girl. So, yeah, we got to come in and start to develop her focus and her ability to pay attention and engage with us, okay? And then we can start to teach her some of her leash manners and pulling and lunging and jumping and obviously how to follow. So I think what we'll do first is let's start doing some turns here. Okay, so I'm gonna bring her in a little bit closer here on the leash and I'm gonna start turning to my right here. Bowie, good girl, good girl. So I'm gonna go ahead and make that turn. Good girl. And if she turns with me, I'm gonna reward her, okay? Good girl. If she doesn't, I'm gonna go ahead and engage the leash there and see if I can get her to follow. Good girl, good girl. So right there, engage the leash, she turns. Let's see right here, good. Yes, okay, good. So engage the leash. Good, so she's paying attention. I'll go ahead and reward her for that. Okay, come on, let's go. Good. Okay, so I'm gonna turn. Good, so as soon as she starts getting ahead of me, I'm gonna go ahead and turn, okay? So collar's engaged, she turns. I'm turning, collar's engaged again. She finally looked up at me here. I'm gonna go ahead and turn here, no engagement. Collar gets engaged. Collar's engaged, come on. Good girl. So I haven't rewarded her. Here we go, I'm gonna reward her right there. So she is looking at me after I'm engaging the collar, but I'm not rewarding her for that. Okay, because I've already seen that she's able to actually turn and engage with me. So I only want to, come on, I only want to start rewarding her for, yes, the correct response that I'm looking for, which is this, which is turn and look, turn and look. Okay. So collar's engaged. Nose is on the ground, collar's engaged. No turn, collar's engaged. So collar's engaged for everything I don't want, right? Collar's engaged for not turning, collar's engaged for not following, okay? So let's see what happens here, all right? Let's see what happens here. We have multiple options, and this is something that she does, okay, with her owners, right? She doesn't follow, she doesn't want to follow. She's used to dictating and leading, so when we're trying to lead, she doesn't want to follow, okay? So I'm not pulling, she's essentially pulling me. She's pulling back. Okay, so we have a couple of options here, all right? We can totally pull the food out and lure her towards us. We can just use our energy and our tone to bring her to us, which we saw just a little bit ago I did, okay? Or we can kind of just sit here and hold this out and show her, which there, we got a yawn, okay? And show her that we're not gonna relieve the tension ourselves. The only way the tension will be relieved is if she comes forward, right? This is really teaching our dogs that they can choose what happens, right? They can choose what happens to them. This is where we're starting to teach them really how to be aware, right? Things happen to them based on their decisions that they make and what they do, okay? So I'm gonna keep this tension here because she's pulling away, okay? Notice how far my arm is out, okay? So it's not like I'm not in close where I'm really pulling, okay? There's just tension. All right. So again, if she was following me, there would be no tension. So we have to teach our dogs that when when tension is applied, it is essentially their fault. Okay. So for this purpose here, we're going to go ahead and just sit here for a minute like this with the tension engaged and see if she figures out to come forward. Okay. She's resisting. She's resisting. Right. So go ahead and keep this here. And if you get a slight break in the resistance, okay? If you get a slight step forward, couple steps forward, she gets a little bit closer, we're gonna go ahead and mark that and see if we can reward it so that she understands, oh, okay, going with you and not pulling back is a good thing, and pulling away is the bad thing. Yes, like this. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Yes. Okay, come on. Just like that. Okay. So, guys, we always have options. Okay, things are not set in stone. This is why. Okay, so let's see what happens here. Okay, let's see what happens here. Good girl. So there was tension again right there. She thought about it for a second, but because of that previous moment there, come on, she figured out, okay, well, this guy's like not gonna come back to me, like not gonna give in. So let's see right here. Let's see right here. Let's see right here. Yeah, good. This is what guys, this is the teaching phase right here, right? She's gonna evaluate. Just because it kind of worked out for her this last rep doesn't mean that she's not gonna try again. Okay, so she's a very pushy dog. Okay, she's a very pushy dog. She's used to getting what she wants, getting her way. So when we start to remove that, okay, and start to require from her, you're gonna get some resistance, all right? And so, yes, you have options. We can bribe. I can bribe her, okay? But I'm also evaluating, if I don't bribe her, what does it take for her to, figure this out, okay? So we've already done it with her. So we're gonna stick to that technique for right now, okay? She's already seen what happens when she relieves the tension. She already saw that I was willing to sit here and she was gonna be the one that relieved the tension, not me, all right? So we're gonna stick to it, okay? Only because, again, of her character, okay? She's a pushy girl. So plenty of the other dogs, especially like we were showing Henry yesterday, no, I'm really luring him, really guiding him. I mean, he's only 5 months old, right? So she's a mature dog, all right? So we're gonna go ahead and challenge her in this way here, okay? So again, my arm is all the way out here, right? Because she's pulling me back, okay? And so one thing I want you to evaluate here when your dog is putting pressure on themselves, essentially here, okay? You can see her, she's looking around, she's paying attention over here, she's just going through it, all right? It's not like it's excessive or anything. No, we have to teach our dogs this. You are doing this, right? You are doing this. So when they understand that they are doing this, they can understand how to get out of it, right? You have to teach them, this is how you get out of this situation. Yay, come on, good. So there was a slight break there, right? And I went ahead and just took advantage of that. Gave her a little yay. Okay, so engage on the collar there. So let's see what starts to happen now. Yes, good girl, good girl. So she went ahead and turned there, paid attention to me. I'm gonna go ahead and reward that. That's a good girl, yes. I'm trying to teach her, guys. Being next to me, staying next to me, staying by my side is the best place to be, and that's where we want her, right? She's so used to going everywhere else, all right? Okay, so again, come on, let's go. This is the teaching phase of teaching our dog, yeah, good girl, what we want from them, okay? So many people, again, not so many people, guys, majority of people out there, yes, they have it all backwards. Come on, let's go, they have it all backwards. The reason why she's not good on a leash is because we haven't done our drills and our teaching and put in our reps here, good girl, come on, of teaching her what we want from her. And so she's been allowed to walk with no skills. Okay, when you walk your dog with no skills, that's what you're gonna get. Come on, good girl. You're gonna get resistance. You're gonna get a dog who doesn't understand. Well, she's not leash trained, right? A dog that's leash trained understands how to follow, understands leash pressure, okay? Let's go. So, it's extremely important, good girl, good girl. It's extremely important that you're doing these drills, okay, come on, and really teaching your dog how to be on a leash prior to walking them, okay? So this is, again, that's a good girl. Big issue is doing none of this. Well, really, it's across the board. It's doing no teaching with your dog in general. And then, okay, come on. And then like expecting them to know how to go through situations, expecting them to listen. Come on. Expecting them to be able to come back to you. Expecting them to be able to, okay, so collar engaged. Expecting them to be able to like behave when you have guests that come over. Yes, good girl. Expecting and expecting and expecting with doing no teaching, okay? So, come on. We have to teach, and then you can expect and uphold, right? So, come on. Okay, so nose went to the ground, collar's engaged. Good, there's a turn with the focus. That's what I'm looking for. We'll reward that. Good girl. So very black and white, guys. Very, very black and white, right? Collar's engaged for everything we don't want. Reward, good feedback for everything we do want, which right now is just following and paying attention, right? Good girl. Okay, come on. Come on. So very, very black and white here. Okay. What? So I can cue her. Come on. Like this, you see? I can cue her. Come on, to follow. But now she's just waiting for the cue, right? And the point is we have to teach her to pay attention, right? So again, notice that I'm not dragging her. I'm just walking, okay? And I'm requiring her to follow, right? Come on. Good girl. Yay. Come on. So see, again, I can cue her and then see if she needs the cue the next time, okay? Come on. Good, good, good. Come on. Yes, that's a good girl. So she stayed engaged with me that entire time, made that turn. So for that reason, we'll go ahead and stop her. Come on, let's go. Yeah, so guys, again, this is teaching our dog that we are the priority. Come on. Everything else has been the priority to her up until this point. Everything, you know, just where she wants to go, what she wants to see. And so therefore, that's why she doesn't listen. Right? She doesn't listen because we haven't become the priority to then teach her how to listen. We haven't become, come on, the center of everything, right? In reality, when you don't do this, you become the least, so let's see what happens here. You become almost like the least desirable thing, okay? Come on. So right here, I need to be the most desirable thing in terms of, again, she's gonna get everything she wants if she's following and going through me to get those things, right? This is leadership, guys. I have to lead the dog, okay? I'm leading her. Come on, come on. So reps and reps and reps of turning, reps and reps and reps of correct timing, reps and reps and reps and reps and reps of consistency, okay? Consistency. Come on, let's go. Come on. Come on, let's go. Good. So you can see, like, when I engage with her and give her some of that feedback, she picks it up. When I don't, she's kind of slow, right? So I have to be that one that's setting the pace, okay? Come on. I'm gonna be the one, that's good, yes. Come on, I'm setting the pace for us, right? Good girl. I'm essentially challenging her. This dog needs to be challenged. She needs to be challenged. She's way too capable. So with no challenge from our end, your dog will challenge you. Okay, your dog will dictate, challenge. I want to go here. I want to do this. I want to listen. I don't want to listen. I want to follow. I don't want to follow. They set the challenge. Come on. So this is a big part of your relationship with your dog. Okay. Come on, let's go. So one thing I want you to see, her ears are back, but her tail is kind of like neutral high. So here, right here, I can feel the leash. Like it's all the way out. Yep, we're back into it again. So let's go ahead and just sit right here. We're back into the same thing as previous. Same thing, right? All of a sudden she's like, nope. I mean, again, how many times do we have dogs that just plop over on the ground, don't want to walk anymore, they're rolling everywhere. It's the same thing as a child throwing a tantrum in the street, guys. And we just experienced this not too long ago, a couple weeks ago, okay, in our own lives with, you know, one of our family members, okay? So it's the same thing, right? We have to teach our dogs, you can't just stop. You can't just throw a tantrum. That's not safe for you. It's not safe for them to be pulling on the end of the leash, essentially trying to get away from us. That's what's happening. She's trying to get away from me, trying to pull away, right? All of this is about safety for our dog. So we have to teach them, you can't pull away, okay? So let's just go ahead and stay here for a second. This again is where patience is key, okay? When you have a dog here that's pushier, a little bit more dominant, she feels pretty dominant. I mean, she's peed on the owner's couch. She's peed like on her own bedding when they're like moving things out of her crate and all of that. I mean, she marks all over the place when she pees, okay? She's a female. She marks all over. She's a dominant, pushy girl. She's really, really mouthy. She uses her mouth really hard. So patience is key here, because essentially someone has to win in this situation right here. So again, we can switch to bribery, but in reality, there's no real winning there other than just kind of like getting the dog out of, see, if I switch to bribery, there's where she's gonna be like, oh, finally there's something in it for me, I'll finally do it, right? We have to teach a dog, like, again, sometimes there's nothing in it for you, right? Life doesn't work that way where there's always something in it for you. Sometimes you have to do things that you don't want to do, even when there's nothing in it for you. That's just the way it works, right? That's just the way it works. Compliance. We follow rules all the time. And I mean, again, when we follow the law, there is something in it for us. We don't get punished. Okay, we don't get punished. But we have to do things all the time that we really don't want to do. Okay? And so we have to teach our dogs the same. It's not all, rainbows and butterflies and flowers, right? There's mouthiness and jumping and scratching and peeing on things and pulling away and lunging and being overprotective and showing attitude, and there's all those things also, right? So patience. Someone has to win. Someone has to win here in this small little battle, which is huge though, because in reality, again, I'm the only one that's is doing this or has gone through this with her in her life so far. She hasn't met anybody. Yes, good girl. See this, see this, see this? Yes, yes, good girl. So let's go ahead and just, good girl. That was what we wanted. You see that? Good. So when she comes to me, yes, good girl. Okay, when she comes to me, she's gonna get all that love, attention, affection. Good. And then now we're back on it again. So we need to evaluate right here. Did we prove a point? That's a good girl. Yes, yes, good girl. Did we prove a point right there that we're not going to give in? We're not going to give into pushiness. We're not going to give into demandingness. Oh, come on. We're not going to give into stubbornness. Okay, come on. And we have to evaluate, is this the dog that I should bribe? Okay, come on. And if you don't bribe, which we did not bribe there, good girl. Good girl, yay, good. Is it gonna go against us, right? If we essentially, again, hold that out there, teach the dog that one of us is gonna give in, okay? If we do it that way, is it gonna go against us? Is the dog gonna shut down? Okay, well, what I know, again, I'm evaluating, and the reason why I'm taking that approach, I took that approach there, is because this dog is way too pushy. She's not gonna shut down. She's not an insecure dog, right? This is a dog that no one has sort of met her level and rose. So here we go again. Great, perfect, perfect, okay? Here we go again. Same things. We're just gonna stay here. She's pulling away. She's already seen multiple times how this interaction plays out, okay? So you have to keep going through these to keep molding that understanding, We're too quick overall with our dogs, too quick overall to just kind of give in and be like, well, I guess they got it. I guess they got it, right? We did it once or twice. And I mean, I guess the dog is just gonna, continue to give you that response for the rest of their lives. And that's just not the case. We're talking about molding, understanding, and habits here, which means we're gonna have to do this over and over and over and over and over to mold the habits. She has bad habits, so we have to create the new habits, right? And in reality, the new habit is following, paying attention, listening, being in an open mindset. See, right now she's in a closed off mindset, right? She's closed off. No, I don't want it. I only want to do it if it's beneficial for me. Well, in reality, we're trying to teach her right now, pulling away is not beneficial for her. Her collar is engaged. She's pulling, okay? I'm making a conscious effort to keep the leash loose. So if the leash is tight, it's her fault. When we're going around and doing all this, I'm not dragging her and having her on a tight leash, showing her, hey, it's me that's making the leash tight all the time, and essentially not teaching her the difference between loose leash and tight leash, okay? So this is firm but fair. I'm fair because, hey, when she's following, the leash is loose. The positive feedback is there, the food is there. When you're not following, collar's engaged, There. Come on. So not all the way, right? Not all the way. Come on. Come on. So let's see if we can kind of just give her this. Come on. And see if she comes forward. So no. So, okay, she gave us a slight bit, you know, coming forward, but she's not there yet, right? She's still in that, I don't want to. So I gave her a little, come on, let's go, to see if I can encourage her to come forward. She didn't do it, so we're in the same situation. We're in the same situation, okay? So, small details, guys, small details like that right there, okay? I gave her the benefit of the doubt, give her a little bit of encouragement, try to boost her up to come forward, close this like 1 foot gap right here. It didn't work. So essentially she's in the same state of mind as she was when she was 2 feet back. Nothing changed, all right? So we're gonna stay right here, okay? So, you know, your mindset has to be, I know this isn't necessarily for you guys, but maybe for us, because this is what we do. My mindset has to be, I can stand here for an hour, Bowie. I can stand here for an hour. We got all day to do this. Most dogs have seen that their owners don't have all day. They don't even have 10 seconds to work on this. So the dog's like, oh, you're gonna give in instantly. You're not gonna sit here and work me through this, work me through my tantrum, teach me these things, develop the understanding. You're not going to. You're gonna give in because you don't have the patience, because you don't have the goal of getting the dog over the hump. We have so many goals when it comes to our obviously our training program here. I have goals. I need to get her through this, past this. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to actually sit here and work on it. So the reason, again, why most people are not making any progress is because they're just not working on it. They're not working on it. They almost accept the dog as, well, this is what they do, right? And it's like, again, we want to always spark curiosity in terms of, well, what are we doing? What are the trainers doing? What are your other family members doing that get the better side out of the dog? What are they doing? Why is the dog better with them and us and other people than, you know, you? Why? What are they doing? You have to ask yourself that, okay? You have to be curious. You have to want to try to do those things, okay? Instead of just being like, oh, it's not good with me. It's good with them. There's always that like a throw in the towel mentality, okay? You only get to where you want to be through action, through doing things, through doing it. You don't get there's absolutely no advancement through not taking action ever, ever. We've never gotten the dog to, you know, be quote unquote trained by not doing it. It just doesn't work that way, right? So you have to do it, okay? So I'm obviously being a little bit picky here in terms of we've already seen she can come straight to my side, right? So she's trying to give the bare minimum. And it's fine because dogs are always trying to figure out, hey, what can I get away with? It's just like a child. Can I give you the bare minimum and you'll accept that? Right? Where here I said, well, we've already seen that you can come all the way to my side very easily. Come up to me and get all the attention, get food, get affection. So when she only comes to here, and I still gave her the benefit of the doubt because we're still teaching her and I try to give her that encouragement and she doesn't come forward, then I gotta let her know that's the extreme bare minimum and we need you to actually follow all the way through. Guys, this is expectation and standards. The reason why we have so many problems with our dogs is because the expectation is low. So therefore, again, we don't do anything about it, right? So look, like she totally just sat down, right? She totally just sat down. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm actually gonna take a couple steps forward here. There, yes, yes, good, good. That's a good girl, good girl. And then we're on again. Yes, let's go. And we're back in it, right? We're back in it. Okay? We're not just gonna stop right there, okay? This again is about consistency and patience and reps and reps and reps and reps and reps. Good, good, let's go. Good, good, let's go. Good, good. That's a good girl. So a little bit of leash engagement, a little bit of collar engagement there. on a couple of those turns, but it's obviously far better than her throwing the brakes on and really pulling back, right? Okay, come on, let's go. So we'll go ahead and reward that one there. Yes, let's go. Good girl. Good. So look, guys, most people don't want to push their dog through these things. They don't want to push them. Now, again, I'm trying to be firm but fair here, right? I have a firm understanding that, well, you're going to have to follow me, right? Because I need, again, set this up so that my dog doesn't, we're not walking out. Okay, so here we go again. Here we go again, right here. Yep. I have to set this up so that my dog doesn't think that when we're out in public and walking, that she can just hunker down and pull away and maybe pull off into the street, right? Or whatever it might be, okay? So we have to stick to what we want here, okay? And push the dog through these, well, through this understanding, okay? Most people don't want to push their dog. They want to put no pressure on them. They don't want to push. And again, firm but fair, okay? I'm firm to this understanding that we're going to have to do this. But when you do it, you're going to get everything you want, right? Attention, affection. You're going to get to continue to walk. You'll get food, we'll play, whatever it is, okay? So we have to be firm there, okay? These things, this comes down to safety. It also comes down to your dog's mindset. It's not a good mindset for your dog to be in when they are, it's not good when your dog is not in a following mindset. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not good. That's not a good place for your dog to be. We bred dogs to follow us, not to lead us. Not to lead us. They live in a human world. They don't know how to lead. That's why they do dog behavior, which is essentially incorrect human behavior, right? So there, good, there, good, good, good. Yes, good. Okay, so we're on again. Let's go. We're on again. Come on, let's go. We're on again. Yeah. Yes, good girl. So she gave a good turn there. Let's go ahead and reward that. Yes, good. Come on, let's go. Let's go. So again, guys, from what we've seen, most people do not want to push their dogs, okay? And it's just like not pushing a child, right? Not teaching them how to not throw tantrums and not giving in, okay? Here we go again. Same thing here, okay? Come on, good girl. It's a little bit easier. So it's the same thing. If you're constantly giving in to your child, I mean, especially if it's like a 3 or 4 or 5-year-old, like we shouldn't be reasoning. Here we go again, right? We shouldn't be reasoning, okay? Our job is to lead and to guide and to teach and to uphold and to expect, right? So if you're constantly giving in, like who's in charge? Who's in charge? It blows my mind that we will allow kids to make decisions for us. No, we're the parents. We are the leaders. We're the guardians. We will make the decisions because we know what's best. I mean, and there again, we can go on an entire tangent there that a lot of people don't know what's best, right? So, and it's probably stemming from a lack of what we're talking about in terms of teaching at a young age. They didn't understand, like, oh, okay, I'm gonna have to kind of give in to my parents, right? If your parents constantly catered to you and gave in to you, well, now you understand that you can dictate and control adults. Right? That never flew with me. And I think that's obviously why we take the approach that we have here, because my mindset is, well, I had to listen. You know, my parents said because I said so. There was no way around it, right? I got disciplined, I got punished. Well, we're gonna go into all that another time, right? Because I think that obviously it's very important to understand, you know, how to dictate your behavior, okay? So this is the work, guys. This is the work, but it comes from the understanding. It comes from goals. I have a goal here, right? There's only one way to get to the goal. Push forward, okay? We can't backtrack. So especially, guys, once your dog gives it to you, you know that they have a, doesn't mean they understand it, but they've seen at least one time, oh, this is what happens, okay? Whenever I like follow or, so that's why we're gonna stick to this, okay? There, yes, good girl. Good, let's go. Okay, let's go. Good girl. Yes. Good. So again, guys, I know like this is the most, yes, good girl. The most it's been required from her overall. Come on, let's go. Come on. Come on. Really, like in her life, okay? It's the most that's been required from her. So yeah, that's hard for a dog that's never been required from, right? Like, you know what I mean? I remember when I got my first job or whatever it is, you start going into new situations. Okay, they start asking more of you. They start demanding more of you. It's uncomfortable, right? It's uncomfortable. So, but what happens once you get through it and you figure it out? You're like, oh, it's not that bad. Like, why was I so resistant, right? So yes, there's resistance and there's some discomfort, right? But, yay, that's a good girl. Finally, we got a yawn there. Finally, we got that yawn. But once they go through that and figure it out, they're like, oh, it's not that bad. Like, listening is not that bad, and it's actually what this dog needs, right? This dog needs leadership. Every dog needs leadership, okay? So the listening portion is the leadership, right? I mean, it's part of the leadership. Okay, come on. And following, okay? Good. Good girl. Yay! Good girl. Good girl. So I'm probably going to end